All right, it's the very next day, and I'm basically back where I was last episode because I wasn't kidding about how much this neighborhood is fucking awesome. And just coming back, it's like immediately there's even more stuff because I got here pretty late yesterday. Today I got here a bit earlier. I'm watching a little trolley thing go by. I think it's called the Sky Capsule. It really does go slow. But I'm above that because basically, so I was talking about last episode, Hyundai Beach, which I got to from Dongbaek Station, Dongbaek. And what I didn't see yesterday, I was talking a lot about the area east of Hyundai Beach, but just west of there, like just the teeniest little bit west, I just didn't go there because it was so late in the day and it was already going to get dark. There's Dongbaek Park and Dongbaek some lighthouse. And importantly, the Dongbaek Island Coastal Promenade. So it's a small little park, but it's really easy to get to, just a really easy little extra bit if you're already down in this area. And this promenade, it's like nice wooden walkways made along the edge of the park, like along the edge of the shoreline with all of this like crashing waves on the terrifying rocks and stuff. It wouldn't really be accessible except that they made this promenade. You can just walk along the whole thing. And there's a bunch of signs for a mermaid statue. It looks like it's actually called Princess Hwangok statue, Hwangok. And it's just so cool because you're already walking along this beautiful thing and these beautiful views. And then there's just like this cool mermaid statue. It's just like, that's fucking cool. What the fuck? I don't know who the princess is. I don't know what the story is. Because I never know anything, but I can look it up later and I'm sure it's cool as hell. By which I mean it's going to be a crazy nonsense story like the one that I found about the prince who randomly fucking fell off his horse and died. But you know, it'll be cool in some weird mermaid-based way. Then I walked east to the Sky Capsule thing, just like last time, following the same course, because I just thought, since I got a little more daylight today, I would just go a little farther instead of heading up into the city to go to the subway, which was also, you know, big city stuff, but it was nice in a big city way. I thought I would try to walk along the edge of the coast a little more, and man, so much better than I realized it was. There's this thing, Moontan Road, which I did see a sign for yesterday, but it was already dark, so I just walked on by. Today, what brought me in is the little arrow pointed down and it said, best place to take photos. So I'm like, all right. And then, I saw that it's this thing, Moontan Road, Moontan Road. M-O-O-N, that spells moon. And it's, again, like a walkway along the edge of, like this was pretty nice yesterday when I was up on the proper road walking along the edge of this coastline and I could only see out a little bit or once in a while. And I was like, this is still great. Like it's so neat that yesterday I was already impressed as fuck by this whole area, even though I didn't go to the additional park with the cool promenade and the mermaid statue. And this Moontan Road thing, it's like 2 kilometers long. And it's just this path that goes along the edge of the coastline. It's fucking incredible. It's fucking beautiful. It's what I saw yesterday, but times 10, like so much more of a accessible view of the coastline. It's so fucking cool. And then this is one of those catch-22s. I wouldn't have come down here if it wasn't daytime. So it had to be daytime for me to realize this was here. But now that I'm here, I saw a sign that said, that's how I know it's 2 kilometers, because the sign said 2.2 kilometers, meant so that you can stroll under the moonlight. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? Like this is still, it's very well developed and it's not like dangerous. But at night, what if you did tumble down and dash your head apart upon the rocks? Like that doesn't seem like the greatest idea. But then I saw that, there's actually lights everywhere. There's lights all along this whole path. So it's already a little late in the day today. It's 5:15. I mean, I guess what I probably will do is just follow this path here in the daytime and go up into the city and dick around a bit, maybe try to find something to eat. and then come back and walk it again at night. Like, this is already so perfect, so 10 out of 10. But you can walk this bitch at night, and not just as like a weird guy with his fucking flashlight of his phone out doing something you shouldn't do. It's designed for that. This is nuts, man. This neighborhood is so fucking good. It is ludicrous. If I do come back to Busan and I don't stay at the same Airbnb I'm at now, if I can find one in this neighborhood, not that it's that hard to get here, the subway ride is not that bad, but even if I pay a bit extra, but I'm in this area, I can't see a problem with that. And yesterday when I was up on the road proper, I mean, everywhere you go, there's coffee shops, but it was like double density. So many coffee shops. So if the beauty of nature and the majesty of the coastline starts to wear off, then I can take my pick of 800 coffee shops. This is so good, man. This neighborhood is insane. It's so good. I don't specifically know what this neighborhood is called, but I guess the beach and the Muntan Road, I mean, they're just really good landmarks. I seem to be heading toward Changsapo Daridol Observatory. That's a tricky word. Daritdol. So yeah, geez, I mean, man, if you heard last episode and you thought this place sounded okay, it's even better. It's like way better. And it was already really fucking cool. God, this is just so nice. Just walking along the fucking coastline. Oh yeah, there's when I was walking down on the lower promenade where I got turned around yesterday because of construction, there's the construction tapes telling you to stop. So that's as far as I got yesterday. Little did I know, yeah, there's the train, there's these little sky capsules, there's the promenade down there, which when you're hearing this will probably be open and clear, but then you can go up on the road, or I'm right in the middle on this fucking mountain path. And it's just blowing my mind that I can come back here in the dark. And it's meant for that I can do that in the dark. It's going to be like a whole different walk. It's going to feel crazy. This is so good. It's so nice that like that first impression that I had of Busan was very, just immediately, I just had a good feeling about this city. It just felt good. And then how all I did was hit up the mountains and had a great time with the mountains. Didn't even come to the coast. And then the pollution fell on the city for a few days, and that was terrifying and demoralizing and disappointing. But that's past. Everything's back to about 50, just at the very vaguest edge of like, maybe just a little bit of pollution. But I mean, for South Korea, that's fine. There's no complaints there. And now that I'm actually at the coast, holy shit. Because, I mean, I guess I would give Seoul as far as mountains go, I mean, it's very hard to beat Busan. It's so nuts to be up on the mountains with like, it's like snowy up there. And the wild dogs live up there. And it's like the for real mountains. It's pretty hard to beat that. If you're just really into mountains, the Seoul mountains are significantly more intense than the Busan mountains. But the Busan mountains are not at all bad. They're still very, very cool. And this fucking sea line stuff it's incredible. This is easily the best walking along a coastline, like a cliffside coastline, rocky area I've ever seen ever. It is just, I've never seen something like this. Like, cause there's parts where there's ropes, but the part I'm at right now is not especially steep, but there's no ropes, there's no fence. It's pretty fucking weird that they're just like, yeah, go ahead, walk this at night, go ahead, it's gonna be cool. It seems like a little weird. This is like not unsafe, just surprisingly severe, I guess. But realistically, it's going to be no problem. And yeah, I guess I'm just impressed. I'm fucking impressed that they're like, yeah, let's not only do this in the day, and it'll be a nice walk in the day. Fuck it, dude. Set up some lights. These are some grown people. They can handle themselves. Let them walk here at night. It's gonna be fucking sweet. So cool. Man. So I'm sure I'll be back later in the episode to report on the nighttime. But I guess the only other thing I noticed is because I haven't taken the subway very much while I've been here. I was taking the subway all the time in Seoul, and I've only recently started taking the subway here in Busan. Is that the subway is a really good opportunity to just see a big cross-section of people. And one of the things I noticed in Seoul is that people seemed a lot larger there than in Japan in general. In Japan, I was very often the tallest person in a subway by like a whole head just looking across everybody on the subway. Where in Seoul, I never really felt that way. I'm still taller than the average person, but there were a lot of, not just foreigners, a lot of Koreans in Seoul who were very large people. And I was like, okay, so that's a difference. But I wonder if that's just a Seoul thing because, it's the big city. Because I definitely noticed here, like so much so that it's totally incontrovertible, that women in particular in Busan are so small. They are so tiny. Like 19 out of 20 women are so small that at a distance you'd think they were, if not an actual child, then like a young teenager. Very, very small. And I was like, okay, I mean, it's just very different. It's like, all right, there, because I had heard about if you're looking for ladies' fashion in South Korea, the famous thing that I saw brought up by many YouTubers and stuff is this somewhat frustrating concept of free size. And free size just means one size fits all. But what they mean is definitely not one size fits all. What they mean are little teeny baby clothes, like very small clothing. Because I remember there's this one lady I was watching, she was like this blonde American lady who was kind of like semi a model. So by North American standards, she was saying how like she's small by North American standards, like to the point that she was like, people were concerned that she had an eating disorder or something. Not a big person. And then she moved to South Korea and nothing fucking fits her. And her South Korean lady friends are like subtly making fun of her for how big she is. And she's just like, this is fucking insane. What the fuck is going on here? And I thought that was strange because it just didn't line up with what I saw in Seoul. But now that I'm here in Busan, it's like, oh, there you go. There it is. Because, I'm trying not to be a fucking creep on the subway. Just glancing around, again, just a very easy way to get a read on hundreds and hundreds of people within the space of 40 minutes or so. Once I noticed that, I just started glancing around, and that's where I noticed, I'd say 19 out of 20. 9 out of 10 wasn't enough. Like that would be too many large people. One person out of 10? Hell no. But maybe one person out of 20. And when I say large, again, I don't mean large. I just mean not the tiniest person you ever saw in your fucking life. So I don't know, I just thought that was interesting to bring up, to mention. The free size phenomenon. It does make a lot more sense now that when I see the Busan population. And it's like, there probably isn't really a need here for a bunch of very specific sizings and stuff. You can just free size it up because everyone is like a waif to the nth degree. Man, this trail, so I actually dipped down below the little sky capsule thing, and now I'm walking pretty much exactly parallel with it. I mean, it's cool that that's here. I bet it's kind of neat in its own way. But like, why? Why would you? There's the walkway under it that, again, will no doubt be open in the future. Or now I'm up on the mountain next to it. Like that there's two separate walking paths that are both cool as shit. I know I'm a bit of a walker, but I don't know why you'd take the little capsule thing. Fuck that. Just take the stroll. It's only 2 kilometers. But man, yeah, so nice. Holy fucking shitballs, this is nice. I made it to another beach, but the name is not in English on my map, although Songjeong Tourism Information Center is right here. Songjeong. So it's probably Songjeong Beach. Jukdo Park is up ahead of me. Jukdo. So yeah, just getting to a next beach. It's a pretty big beach, actually. I think it's about the same size as the one I started at. But yeah, this just feels like, it's like I should pull out the recorder. It feels like I completed a journey, that I made it to another beach. I don't know if I'll make it to Muntan today. Maybe. It's still light out. It's taking forever for it to get dark. If I don't do it today, I guess that's the thing. I was like, I'll just come back another day. But I don't, how is it going to be that late in the day? I got to wait till it gets dark. I suppose I could just go to a coffee shop and fuck around all day. But basically, I went down from Muntan back onto the main promenade walk along the shore, along the little sky capsule ride thing. And then that ended, but the bigger trolley system thing still goes along, but I just kept walking. And then eventually I lost track of that. It might still be up there. I don't know how far it goes. But I walked down to the actual seaside, and it's just so beautiful. I just love being by the ocean, man. It feels so good. Just down by the rocks, stuff splashing. Very windy. Yesterday, I actually, because it had been so hot lately, I left the house without a hood. Yesterday, I just had a little thermal shirt, which I did put on. But I kind of regretted not having the hood. Thank God today I've got a hood. I mean, you should just always have a hood at all times. That's like a lesson I'm reminding myself. Even if it's a little annoying on a hot day to carry around a hoodie that you don't need, it's worth it just in case. And like today, it's gotten more and more overcast. It's actually raining on me a bit right now. And it's really windy being down by the ocean. So definitely have a hood. Probably good advice all the time, but for sure, down here by the water line in Busan, you're gonna want a hood, because that would make quite a difference. I am a bit prone to earaches and stuff, so it's delightful with a hood. It's like, it's all windy and it's all crazy and there's these big waves and everything is sweet. But if I didn't have the hood, I don't know that I could do this. I would probably have to bail out. Fucking balls though, it's so beautiful. What the fuck? I guess this beach is smaller than where I started, but if I make it along the whole crescent, I do see at that Jukdo Park, there is some kind of a, one of those little, sort of looks like a temple, but it's like a little pagoda thing out on the rocks. I did though pass at one point, walking along the edge of the sea. There was like an observation deck you could walk out onto, and there were a bunch of people out there, but the weather had already gotten crazy enough that I didn't go out. I'm like, that's fine. Fuck this. Hey, surfers! Fuck yeah, bringing me back to Japan. One of my latter day activities down south from Yokohama was just to go down to the beach by Enoshima, and I would just hang out there and watch the surfers. I don't know, it's just a nice calming thing. Man, yeah, this weather's shit, and it's just getting worse. So, cheers to these guys, man. I'll give them big points. There's like 15 guys out there. Oh, and there's way more down the beach. Probably a total of like, maybe not 50 people, but maybe. Surfing it up. God damn, man. Life by the ocean is just such a good life. It just increases the coolness of your life just so automatically. Even if I never go surfing in my life, I probably never will. Just being around people that are doing shit like that feels good. It's just nice. And there's that nice vibe, just like this beach. Just surprisingly busy for how bad this weather is. I'll give the Busanites credit for that. There's a lot of people down here with rain ponchos and stuff on. But then, yeah, you just get the nice beach, and the road is not that busy here. I guess all the major traffic is probably higher up the mountains. And the only thing that's lacking, you could argue this is a good thing, but I've had my eyes peeled for a convenience store for like the last half an hour. It's just like, I just want to buy a bag of chips or something. I am starving. I ate one of my super breakfasts this morning where I take like from my Airbnb that I'm at, they have instant coffee. So I put that in the bottom of the bowl. Then I take a coffee pod and I pour the coffee pod, run it through into the bowl, mix it all together so I have a double coffee, and then take a cup of chocolate shreddy type things and a cup of Frosted Flakes. Put those in there, eat the cereal with the double coffee. It served me well, but that was some time ago. And yeah, there's just no convenience stores around here for some reason. You know, I've said many times how the convenience store situation here, it's not like Japan where I was just endlessly excited. Here, it's more of a necessity thing. But I guess all you got to do is get hungry enough, and I'm really looking forward to a convenience store. A thing happened to me the other day, though. I pretty much gave up fairly early on of like buying sandwiches from the convenience stores or the weird little Mackie roll things that they sell, because I just don't like them that much. And it's definitely like the convenience store culture is definitely different here. Like even just a 7-Eleven here is not at all like a 7-Eleven in Japan. The 7-Elevens in South Korea are just like all the other convenience store chains here. And the way Japan would have like tons of food available at the convenience store that they would continuously deliver throughout the day. So if you got there at the wrong time, you're out of luck. You just kind of have nothing to choose from. But you know everything is new and fresh. Where that's definitely not the case here. Like the other day, I was like, let me just stop in the convenience store. What the heck? And I got one of the little weird Mackie roll things that's like little protein thing. I don't know, it had like chicken and egg in it, and it was it was all right. And then I got one of the sandwiches. I haven't had one of these since Seoul. The sandwiches that are just whipped cream and strawberries, and they're just way less good than the equivalent in Japan. But it's like, again, I haven't had one in a while. I'll get these. But they only had one of each up there, and I didn't even think to check the date on them. I was checking the dates in Jecheon. I guess because Jecheon has such a small population, I was a little more mindful of like, oh, I should make sure these things haven't been sitting here too long. Because unlike Japan, you would sometimes see a date that was like, this thing has been here since yesterday, or on super rare cases for 2 days. But I think that happened at this convenience store I was at the other day, where the lady, as she was scanning things, got a little weird sound or whatever on both my little Mackie roll, my protein roll, and my my dessert sandwich, because she disappeared to the other side of the store and came back with another one of each. And I don't know where they came from. I don't know where those were hidden away, because I only saw one of each. And that's how it always seems here. Like even those a Cafe La, my favorite coffee brand here, usually it's buy two, get one free. And very often they only have 3. When I buy them, that's it. I bought all the ones. Oh, there's one, GS25. There's a convenience store. All right, I'm gonna go there. But yeah, they must have backups hidden away somewhere. They're just not on the shelf. And yeah, I can only assume, because the lady just gave me, it was the exact same items, but rang up the new ones that she had gotten, and she just put the 2 that I had gotten off the shelf aside. So I got to assume, because again, I was just in some random convenience store in some random little neighborhood, they must be set as you scan them. Like the barcode must have like expiration date info. I'm almost sure that's what happened, is it told her like, hey, don't sell these ones. These ones have been sitting here too long. Go get some new ones. Which, cheers for that, because I got food poisoning really bad in Toronto once, because it was like 3 a.m. and I bought just a ham and cheese roll from a 7-Eleven that tasted like a tuna roll, and I didn't think anything of it. In my stupid brain, I was like, maybe I picked up a tuna one and I didn't realize. But it tasted like tuna because it was off, and I got so sick. That was the sickest I've ever been. You know, I got some food poisoning in Japan this trip in Yokohama. That was nothing compared to the one in Toronto. The one in Toronto was really bad. So anyway, that's kind of interesting. And it reminded me like, oh yeah, I should be checking the dates on stuff. I just didn't even think about it the other day. It's nice that it seems like the system has my back, it seems to be built into the system that they won't let you buy something that's too old, but it's better not to take those risks. Don't presume. It's fairly safe to presume in Japan. In Japan, they got their shit together. I mean, those convenience stores are just out of another world. They're still so amazing. I love them so much. It's a different vibe here, which, speaking of, on the way to the GS25, there's a 7-Eleven. And yeah, it's just the weirdest thing. I've said this before, but I just feel nothing looking at the 7-Eleven logo and the 7-Eleven colors. I'm like, should I go there? Should I go to the GS25? Who fucking cares? Who cares? I got no preference. And it's not like in Japan, where I was a pretty even fan of all the chains because in their own unique ways, they're all fucking amazing. Here it's just like, I don't know, whatever. Whichever one will do. I guess I'll do the GS25. Why not? But I haven't noticed anything about the specific chains that stands out or that makes any different from any others. I used to fantasize, it would be so great if there was just one 7-Eleven in Toronto that was a Japanese style 7-Eleven. It would obviously never work because with import costs and stuff, every item would cost fucking $10. But it would be so cool. But that feels like that could happen here. I feel like one of these chains could be the chain, why not 7-Eleven, that is like, hey, guess what? We're the convenience store that's like in Japan style. But it's very obvious because they're all so identical that what they got is what Korea wants. It's just not what I want. But anyway, whatever, I'm starving, so I'm gonna go in this place and I'll find something to eat. Man, yeah, again, shoreline shit makes everything better. They had little seats set up outside of that GS25 convenience store. And just having the view of the beach across the street and seeing the surfers just made it way better to sit there. I was just sitting there under a little awning, not getting rained on too much, eating some weird stuff. I found some rice balls of indeterminate, unnecessarily spicy fucking flavor and some little quail eggs. I don't know, some weird stuff. Sun chips. They are just like the sun chips from North America, except spicy, of course. They have these things here. They're like little bread things with cream inside. I only found chocolate ones here, but you can get just normal milk cream and matcha ones. Maybe it's a weird complaint for a North American, but they're huge. They're so giant. I actually wish they were smaller. They'd be quite nice because, of course, it's 2 for 1. So I had bought 2 of them and they're huge. But anyway, sat there, had a nice little chow down. It's so hard to only chew on one side of your mouth because I'm still concerned about my dental situation. Just really tough to not chew on one side. I haven't heard back from the dentist. I think probably though I'll just wait till I get to Jeju. But anyway, sun's going down. Weather's not getting much better. Well, I guess it's raining a little less, but getting windier. And there is a subway station near here. So I was like, all right, I guess I should just bail out. But that pagoda thing out on the peninsula that I saw from the other side of the beach, I'm there right now. I did come out to this thing. It's very close. It's easy to get to. Waves everywhere, beautiful ocean. And things do progress from here, although I'm not sure how pedestrian friendly it is out there. It's getting hard to tell now that it's getting dark. I don't see a clear walkway. But anyway, since there's a subway station very near here, I can either just continue on from here, continue on this adventure and see if I can go farther up the shoreline, although I'm really not sure. It doesn't really look like it. But anyway, or the nighttime version of Moontan. Not gonna happen today. It is cold and wet, and I am not close anymore. But I'll just pop back. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe 3 days in a row I'll come to this neighborhood. Because this shit is great. Oh yeah, and because it's so great, There's hotels everywhere, tons of hotels around here. And one of them is called The Coolest Hotel. Great big neon letters right on the side of the building, The Coolest Hotel. Which of course, any austere, truly dignified hotel would never name themselves that. What a dumb name for a hotel. That's a very suspect name. However, if I had the kind of money to just throw at staying in hotels, and I wasn't just a weird bottom-feeding Airbnb guy, I would 100% go to The Coolest Hotel. Who the fuck calls a hotel that? That's ridiculous. But yeah, it appears Songjeong Station, Songjeong Station, is not too far from here. Is that the blue line? I know I haven't taken the blue line yet. I think that might be that. But anyway, that will be my method of escape. Or possibly my method of return in the future. But for today we're all done. But man, just wonderful. Can't say it enough times. This whole seaside coastal area of Busan is fucking good shit. It is so good. It's a bit funny that I never came here yet, but I mean, that's fine too, because, you know, you go to anywhere over and over and over. I'm sure if I lived here, I wouldn't give a sweet fuck. So it's kind of cool that I was already quite enjoying Busan, and then you just get that extra little fucking nitro boost. And there's a lot of coast around here. There's probably a bunch of areas like this. But yeah, this is a particularly cool surfer place. Oh, here's these are all over Korea, but exercise equipment in the mountains. They just have public exercise equipment all over. But it seemed like weirdly perverse in Seoul, because at least the time of year I was there, just, you know, the pollution was so ever present and almost constant. It just seemed like a bad joke. Like, who the fuck's gonna come out here and breathe all heavy and do exercise? Like, this is so cool conceptually, but the reality of the situation is weird at best. Seems a lot better here. Like, oh yeah, I could see this for sure. I'm not gonna, because it's getting cold and windy and shit. But I could totally imagine doing some fucking exercise there and staring out at the bay, where it looks like all the surfers have come in. There's still some people walking along the beach, but I don't see anybody in the water anymore. That's got to be a saying of some kind, right? When surfers come in, it's time to begin heading home. I'll work on that one. Uh-oh, trapped in the rain. Not only so yesterday I didn't have my hood, today I still didn't bring the water resistant hoodie. I just brought my nice fluffy one. That also, my umbrella is in the pocket of the other one. So I don't have my umbrella either. I fucked up. I guess it's because I'm in this little room in this Airbnb with no windows and stuff. I don't know what the fucking weather's like outside. Here, let me just stand under an awning for a moment. I don't even know if I'm walking the right way. I'm trying to figure out, like, this will be a test. I am at the subway station nearest my Airbnb. Do I know this neighborhood well enough now yet to know if I'm going the right way? I don't recognize anything, so does that mean I'm going the wrong way? Step out for a moment. Yeah, if I had to guess, I guess I gotta go the other way. I don't know, I'll figure it out. But yeah, it is just one of those things. There was a stretch of really warm days, and I was just like, I felt like a sucker for carrying around a big jacket and an extra layer and an umbrella and all this stuff just to be sweating through my t-shirt all day. But then there's days like this where it's like, oh yeah, it really does just make more sense, I guess, first off, to really, really look close at that weather website. But it is better to have the stuff, I guess. Or I guess when I get to the doorway, the front door of the Airbnb, that's when it's more obvious what kind of day it is. but I'd have to go all the way back upstairs and take my boots back off and put on my slippers and put in the front door code and then go down the hall and put in my door code and change my loadout. It's a pain in the butt. But anyway, so yeah, that train I got on was in fact the Blue Line, and it's an above ground train, which are very rare here. You know, all the trains between cities are above ground with many tunnels, of course. But within the cities, it's all subway stuff. So that was cool that it was an above ground train and much slower than the other ones. It showed up a way less often, so much so that they had like, here's when the next one's coming and you gotta wait. You know, I was there for like 10 minutes, but it was really dark at that point, and it was just nice to be on this quiet subway platform that almost no one else was on. Train platform, I mean. I always interchange subway and above ground trains when I talk. And I was just looking out at the buildings. That truck that just went by blasting the music has a giant ceramic pumpkin on the back or some kind of gourd. Weird. Anyway, yeah, just staring out at the buildings. And I know I keep comparing. It seems so weird. I'd be annoyed if I was South Korean, that every time I like something in South Korea, my first thought is that, wow, this feels like Japan. So all I can do is apologize again for that, but that's how I felt. It's like, oh man, yeah, just standing on a train platform, staring out at the lights of the city, just that downtime while you wait for the next train to arrive felt like Japan, and it felt so good. But then, you know, it's been a bit overcast and a little rainy all day, but I guess I'm not quite sure now what's going on, where I got on this train and only 2 stops later, you know, I had my nose in my phone, I wasn't really paying attention. I got to Bexco station, B-E-X-C-O, all in capitals, which I don't know what the fuck Bexco is. I don't know what that means. It's a transfer point. It's definitely a pretty major station. But the glass enclosure over the top of the station, there was water pouring down it. And I was like, what the fuck? Did it just start pouring rain like in the last couple of minutes? What the fuck is happening? I like literally poked my head out the door and I almost hopped out at that station because I was just so flabbergasted. Like, what is fucking going on? But then at the next station, it wasn't raining. I guess where I'm confused is now it is raining, but it's just moderate rain. Whatever was happening at Bexco, I don't think was actual rain. I think they just did that as like a cool thing to just have water cascading down the outside of the station. I guess I can't be sure. Maybe I should go back and check it out at some point. But it was one of those things that, like, if they did just do that to fuck with me, they fucked with me. They got me good. It's like one of those little moments where life just feels kind of magical of like, what the fuck? Did a tsunami just hit outside? Where's all this water coming from? And then at the next station, it was very dry. So I'm like, what the fuck? You got me, Bexco. What the hell was that? And it made me think of, I was watching a YouTube channel about mega structures, you know, like there are statues, a lot of them in India, that are over 200 meters tall, or, you know, buildings like the Burj Khalifa or whatever. Just these big, enormous things like, pay attention world, look at this, bum, bum, bum. But it made me think, like, you really don't need to go that extreme to bring a little delight into someone's day. You know, there's all these little ways that you can just make a little moment feel kind of magic and weird. And that's such an easy one. Just make it seem like it's raining really hard in just this one station. It was really cool. But yeah, now that I'm here, it actually is raining. So I guess I don't fully know if it was just a trick or if something's happening that I'm not understanding. I just don't really know. But anyway, it's raining a little bit now, not too bad, but I gotta figure out, I just gotta figure out which direction. I just don't wanna walk the wrong way, that's all. Oh wait, Adia Coffee. Is that the Adia near me? There would be a Daiso, and then just beyond the Daiso would be a Burger King. I'm just gonna walk. I'm gonna trust my intuition, although this is the opposite direction of what my intuition told me earlier. But that Adia looks familiar. Anyway, I was thinking I might just continue this episode, you know, when I go back there, I'll just continue on. But this is definitely an episode. This is a full episode for sure. This day felt very much like a complete adventure, even though I didn't get to see the Moontan Trail at night. And very likely there's more shoreline I can be exploring. I'm not quite sure where the blue line goes, but I was only a couple of stops deep into it. Like, you can go way further in. So, there we go. Another day of adventure. The nice Busan sandwich. Started out great, shit in the middle, ending great. I guess it's very good bread in the Busan sandwich. The middle is suspect. But overall, yeah, everything has bounced back fantastically well. Surely I should be able to see the Burger King by now. There's a Daiso. There's no fucking way that there's an Adia and a Daiso the other way. There it is, Burger King. All right, good. I'm going the right way. Good. Hey yo, here's Keith from the future. I'm sure I will reiterate this next episode for the all-important lore of the Roaming Holiday Podcast Busan edition, but I'm in the Bexco subway station right now. It's a convention center, by the way. That's what, I don't remember what the Bex part stands for, but CO is convention. But yeah, there's no weird why. It's like, it is a big dome, a big glass dome over top. Well, I guess there's an opening in the middle where the track is. But this idea that they had a special water feature that runs down the station all the time, it would be very cool. Hugely wasteful, though, and insane. But no, it turns out it was literally just raining. It was just such bizarre weather that, like, it wasn't raining at the previous station. It was raining like fucking crazy at this station. And then it stopped by the next station. It was just so weird that that's where I concocted all that stuff about it being some magical delight. It's just normal rain. So, yeah, I don't know, I just thought I should update that. Just not to spread this weird, wild misinformation of like, oh, did you hear about the Bexco station? Oh, we should go see the Bexco station. I hear it's like being inside a waterfall 24 hours a day. Well, again, that would be fucking rad, and maybe someday they'll develop a energy efficient way to do that. Maybe they could just use the same water in a loop or something. But no, that's crazy talk. It's just a normal station. Hey, there's a big neon cross in the distance. That is definitely, especially now that I've been to the 3 different cities. I knew Jecheon had a lot of religious stuff, like a lot of churches, but it really has a lot. I think Seoul even seemed like it had more than Busan, but I mean, obviously it does just from population density. Busan, it's a little bit rare. You just don't see all that many crosses. Enough so that I just don't think about it till just now, just because I saw one. I'm like, oh, look at that. But yeah, Jecheon, those fucking bitches were everywhere. All right, anyway, there's the Bexco update. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next episode.